What's going on, guys? In this video, I'm going to share a simple 4-step process for doubling the revenue of any business without increasing the top of funnel traffic. So I've seen this work for businesses of all types, everything from e-commerce businesses selling things like supplements and kids toys and anything else you can imagine, all the way to YouTubers selling info products and memberships, and even business to business services types of businesses, so agencies, other like local service businesses, things like that. So I've seen this work in completely different industries with different markets and everything. And it's not because there's some kind of like magical formula. It's actually not so much about being tactical. In this video, I'm going to share the strategic overview of what needs to be done, and then you can just fill in the blank with the tactics that make the most sense for your business. So the process is going to be the same for any type of business. So if you think about it, obviously whatever you're doing to get traffic to your site, that's and how that filters out into actual paying customers, you can look at your numbers for that right now. For a lot of businesses, they're not in a position, or they're not being efficient enough with the traffic they have right now to just double their ad spend, right? Because obviously we could just double the ad spend, and that would theoretically double the revenue that you're getting from your business, assuming that your sales process holds up to, and it's performing at the same level with twice as much traffic going through it as it is now, which that might not even be the case for certain business types. So really the challenge is, how can you be way more efficient with the traffic you have now, so that way you're getting a better ROI on your traffic, so that you can, for one, you could just double your revenue, double the profitability from your existing traffic, but also so that way you could then reinvest that extra profit into getting more traffic and into feeding this machine that you've created to grow even further beyond that. So, okay, so the first step you're going to start with, and this is for any businesses, first you just need to audit your sales process. So you need to get those numbers, right? Like you need to know how much traffic is showing up on your site, what percentage of that traffic converts into the next step of your sales process. So, if you're an e-commerce business, then you're going to want to know things like the conversion rate of your store in general. So your Shopify site or whatever you're using, what's the conversion rate? So what's the percentage of traffic that converts into paying customers? But also you want to know some other numbers, like what's the conversion rate onto your email list? So how many people, because a lot of the traffic is not equal. Some of the traffic that shows up on your site is from existing customers that are there to shop again. And then some of it's going to be from cold traffic from people who maybe aren't even very interested at all yet, all the way to someone who's cold traffic, but it's also very, very interested, and they're actively shopping in your market and they're looking for something like what you sell. So, you have people who show up in different scenarios, but that's why you want to look at different conversion rates at different steps here. So, but the first thing is, just finding out, okay, of the traffic that's going to your site, what percentage of people are buying and what percentage of people are opting into your email list, and then just track your sales process step by step. So for an e-commerce business, you want to look at, okay, how much or what percentage of the traffic that hits the homepage actually ends up on the different product pages, and which product pages are getting the most traffic. You want to know all of this stuff. And then, what percentage of people are adding a product to their cart, and then what percentage of people makes it to the next step where they actually start the checkout process. And then finally, again, getting back to how many people are actually converting. But so having those numbers at breaking down the step-by-step process is important, because that's one of the steps we talk about next is going to be basically going in and attacking those different stages of your sales process. So, and then with service businesses where, people aren't just showing up on your site and adding something to cart, they have to maybe get on a call or do, either you have to give them a quote or something. Like there's going to be some step in between where they, because maybe it's a custom thing every single time. It's not going to be as simple as people just being able to go to a particular page and clicking buy and whipping out their credit card and paying right then, right? So that's where you really want to know those numbers in between each step, and knowing how, what percentage of people make it to that sales call, and then, what percentage of people buy on the spot on the sales call versus having to do a certain amount of follow-up in between them and between that sales call and then them eventually signing up. So again, you need to have all these numbers to just know what you're working with right now. Just know how many people are showing up on your site, and how is your website, how is your sales process performing when it comes to converting that traffic. So once you've got that, now you want to optimize your sales process. And the way we do this is with email automation and also with SMS, but email is the main first place to start for most businesses. So again, it's like, okay, now you've got the numbers, you've got your step-by-step sales process mapped out, you know your numbers as far as how many people make it to each step. So the way you can first identify where the biggest opportunities are for you is where you see the biggest drop off. So if you see the biggest drop off, the biggest percentage of people leave or exit the sales process going from viewing the product and in between viewing the product and adding it to cart, then you know that by putting in an automation there, putting in an email flow there, that is going to be a lot of immediate opportunity, because that's where you're losing a lot of people. And if you can just get some of those people to keep moving down the sales funnel, then you're going to get more sales. Same thing with a B2B service business. Maybe you are doing some sort of webinar funnel and you don't have any automated follow-up, and just adding in some follow-up in between the webinar invitation and actually getting them to show up could be the difference. It could literally double the revenue just with that one automation alone. So what we find is by optimizing the sales process, or just adding in this, really it's at a simple way of looking at it, adding in automated follow-up in between every step of your sales process, that alone for businesses that don't have those systems in place will typically at least double their revenue without them having to do anything with their traffic, without having to increase their traffic or spend more on ads or anything. So it's not even getting into some of the ongoing stuff. And that's the next piece I want to talk about. So once you've got your sales process optimized, so you've got automations in place that are triggered by people's actions as far as how they go through your sales process, but also things like their past purchase history, things like that. Now you want to get into your ongoing email marketing. And this would again apply to SMS marketing and anything else you're doing. And then really what we find the key to being able to successfully grow your email marketing sales channel is to use segmentation in your campaign strategy. So you're planning out your campaigns for the month. First thing you want to do is just create some different segments that you could even send emails to in the first place, and start sending to a more diverse group of people. So that way you're not sending every email to everyone on your list. So as you're planning your month out, you can actually end up sending more emails out, but you're just controlling it to where the groups of people who receive each email are smaller groups within the total list that you have. And ideally, you then take the content of that email and you craft it specifically for that smaller group of people. So that way the email resonates more, it's more interesting, it's more persuasive, and you're more likely to get sales from each of those individual emails. And because you're now able to send more emails without burning out your list, you're now getting more total revenue from your email marketing. So that is, and this is, I say that, in a quick 2-minute summary, like it's, no big deal. And the thing is that this is something that you're not going to get it perfectly the first time if you're doing it on your own, but that you have to keep going and keep growing it, because that particular piece, so going beyond the automations and getting into your ongoing email marketing, that's what's really going to give you the most upside with this particular sales channel. That's where you're going to see the most revenue growth over time beyond what you initially get from getting those automations set up. So it's very important to figure this out and dedicate the time to it if you aren't in a position to hire someone else to do it for you. And then finally, the fourth thing I want to mention here, and I mentioned these things in order of priority. This one is definitely nice to have, but truthfully, I've just never seen it, like double someone's revenue in a month or anything like that, right? Partially because the nature of this thing is that someone has to participate in it for a longer period of time for them to get the value, and also for you as the business to get the value from it. And that's a rewards program. So I've got some other videos on my channel here about this, but rewards programs are awesome for creating a great customer experience. They're great for fostering brand loyalty. You would be surprised, but a lot of consumers out there now, whenever it comes to choosing which brand, because if you think about it, most of the stuff we're selling, it's not like we're the only ones selling it, right? I mean, the majority of companies who are selling skincare products and supplements and whatever, you name it, t-shirts, you fill in the blank, you're probably not selling the absolute best thing on the market. And that's assuming that you're selling something that is of high quality. It's just that there's a lot of companies probably who are selling the similar high quality as you. So people are looking for other reasons to choose why they would stay loyal with a particular brand. A lot of it comes down to your brand story and your messaging and how you position yourself towards towards in the market for specific buyers. But one of the things that a lot of buyers have a preference towards is a great rewards program. So especially for consumable products, the things that they know they're going to be buying over and over, those are ones where they really want to be rewarded the most, because it goes from a one-time transaction to it's almost part of their monthly bill, right? So if someone is really into fitness, their supplements to them is basically kind of like it's part of their grocery bill. It's something that they're going to buy them every month, regardless of who they buy them from. So if they like a brand and that brand has a great rewards program, over time, as they get more and more rewards with that program and they're able to save more and get new free gifts and different surprises and stuff, then it's going to be harder and harder for other companies to steal that customer away, because they've already invested so much in you, not just money, but like they've probably worked their way up to a higher tier where they're getting a customer experience that's better than if they had to go start over with another brand, right? And so that's why you want to have that. So again, that is more of a long-term play. It's not something that's going to, make a huge difference right overnight, but it's definitely something you want to have in place. And by doing all of these things, and really all of this can be managed through email marketing for the most part. These are very simple ways that you can at least double, if not more, if not triple your revenue without spending more money on ads. And if you're really focused on growth, then you can take that extra profit and invest it into spending more on ads, sending more people into this optimized system that you have. And that is honestly, that's a big part of when businesses are in their scaling phase. You can't neglect even though it's not something I talk about too much because it's not a service that we offer, you can't neglect the lever of adding more traffic, right? So that's a problem you have to solve. If you don't have it solved already, you have to figure that piece out. So you have to be able to send more people into this machine that you've created that turns people into paying customers and repeat customers, just like you have to have that machine in the first place to send people to, and you have to optimize that thing and you have to continue to manage it. So, but yeah, I want to cut this video off because it's already getting a little bit longer. And again, those are the strategies. So now you just need to look at your business and look at, okay, what are the specific tactics or the specific tools you need to accomplish those things that we just talked about. And there's, a million resources out there to do that. Or if you're in a position to hire someone, you can always hire our team or another company like ours to do everything for you. And that way you can hit the ground running and you don't have to worry about it.